Hello everyone, welcome to match 1 of our Mono White Heroic League. We are on the play. We have a keepable 7. So we have a couple of 1-drop creatures. Now if we knew what our opponent was on, if it was for example Elves, I'd consider leading with my Deathblade Elite. As we are unsure, the safer play is the Trailblazer based on its toughness. So we're going to lead Trailblazer here. We then have turn 2 the potential of either Armor and Umbra, or potentially Deathblade Elite to get another creature down. And one of those two. So, what on earth is that? Geothermal Crevice. I have genuinely never seen this card before. Okay, enters the battlefield tapped, add 1, sacrifice it to add black and green. Okay then. Now I recognize this player's name. I seem to remember them being a good player. I just have absolutely no idea what they're doing. So I think what we do here is we hedge as much as possible. So we'll go Hyena Umbra, because then if they have some way of, they're in black and red, so they might have a way of dealing with our creature. So having a way to protect it with totem armor is important. And we'll play a second body just in case they have an edict effect. Not knowing what they're on, I think the safest thing we can do is to do the very best we can to protect our creatures. That's what we're going to do here. And let's see what our opponent has turn 2. Because I have absolutely no idea what kind of deck they're playing here. Geothermal Crevice. Okay, Street Wraith. Cycles, okay. What on earth is our opponent doing here? Cycles another Street Wraith. Wait, did they downshift Death Shadow and not tell me? Okay, tapping for red. Is this what? Faithless Looting. Are they some sort of madness deck or like a reanimator deck maybe? I'm going to pop the graveyards out in a minute. What's this? Monstrous Carabid. Okay, Death Shot Minotaur. Okay, so some sort of cycling deck, I guess? Interesting. Okay. Some sort of cycling deck. So we're going to go as deep on our Trailblazer as we can do here. So this would actually be a situation where we'd love to draw double cleave next turn, I think. Okay, so we have an 8-12 on turn 3. That's kind of what this deck's hoping to do. Take our opponent to 5, eventually. First strike damage, regular damage should take up to 5, yeah, perfect. Pass the turn to our opponent, and say go. Say kill us this turn or provide a meaningful threat or basically lose. Okay, so Monstrous Carabid again. Attacks to each turn if able, cycles for a black or a red, and is a random foul. 4/4. Okay. Well, I can't honestly tell. Obviously our opponent's some sort of cycling deck. I guess it might be like an Exhume deck or maybe some sort of madness shenanigans based deck. Honestly, can't tell exactly what they're trying to do. Okay, so they've added black and green. Sack the Geothermal Vent. Okay, Cabal Ritual. So add 5 black. Add a red. Manamorphose. What on earth is our opponent doing here? Cycles Adranith Healer. Okay, so it is like a cycling matters deck. Cycles Imposing Vantasaur. So just cycling, digging for something. Cycles Forgotten Cave. Street Wraith, so they're just looking for like a kill spell here? That's the only thing I can think that they would do. If they're digging this far, they must just be looking for some kind of kill spell, I guess. Get to mountain. I mean, are they running cast down maybe? Or they could just concede, I guess. Okay. Well, our opponent saw a lot of their deck there, actually, considering it was turn 3 for our opponent. They'd seen 22 cards. And we'd seen 9 cards. So obviously the deck can cycle through itself pretty quickly. Now we don't actually have any way of dealing with an opponent's graveyard. I'm trying to think what we actually want here for this matchup. What do we want to sideboard in? I'm going to say maybe double cleave here. Maybe we just want to run over our opponent before they can do too much to us. I'm going to maybe take out... What am I going to take out here? Like an Emerge Unscathed, I guess? We're not going to need that. No, I'll take out Stave Off. At least that gives us 2 triggers. Stave Off only gives us 1. They've got creatures of all different colours, black, red, white, so there's not really anything to be gained by bringing in our Death Speakers, I don't think. I don't think we have a lot for this matchup, to be fair. We don't have any graveyard hate as such. We're not running any relics or Nihil Spellbombs or anything like that. Okay, so a couple of creatures, a couple of enchantments. It's a little bit slow. I really wish the Seeker of the Way was a 1-mana creature, but sure, I guess we can run this through and see how we get on. So again, opponent's going to cycle their Street Wraith. Cool. We'll pop out of graveyards again. So opponent's on the Geothermal Cave Crevice again. We're going to hope to draw a 1-mana creature and draw a land. Perfect. So we didn't actually see any removal from our opponent game 1. No lightning bolts, nothing like that. Geothermal Crevice again. Okay. Seems good. Ooh. As much as I was tempted to play Skyguard, do we just run out Trailblazer here? Because what I don't want essentially is to run out Skyguard, opponent bolts it, and we're just behind on tempo. I think we're better off here. Play Trailblazer, play Hyena Umbra, and they're unlikely to be able to cast anything that deals with it effectively, I don't think. This should be a much more resilient threat than Skyguard would be at 2 mana. I think this is the best way to deal with it. Okay, so they're going to cycle a Deadshot Minotaur. What an odd deck our opponent's playing. I mean, I kind of like it, in fairness. I've never seen anything like it in Pauper. I mean, they're playing Imposing Vonta, so you have to give them credit for that, at least. Okay. Cycles a Caravid, sure. Opponent's cycling some more stuff. Snow-covered mountain, cool. Don't know why they're running snow-covereds either. I guess that's just for the flex. I mean, you know, if you got it, flaunt it, I guess, but... Okay, so we're going to run Hyena Umbra out. I guess there is some merit to not playing the Umbra and holding up Stave Off and playing a creature. But I think here we're going to want to just get in for as much damage as we can, as quickly as we can. So I'm going to play out Seeker of the Way as well, just because I think it represents a more meaningful clock. We have no way at the moment to deal with, or sorry, to pump up a Skyguard, whereas any incidental spells we cast, even if we Journey to Nowhere an opponent's creature, it still triggers our Seeker's Prowess. Okay, so Drowned Stinger, this is, what's this, an Ikoria card? Whenever you cycle another card, just one okay, so this is kind of the cycling equivalent of like Thermo Alchemist, I guess. Or Firebrand Archer, I guess, is more accurate. Drenna Stinger. Okay. What's our opponent got for us here? Well, we've not had the most explosive start, but we've still got our opponent down to 14. We're swinging in for minimum 6 next turn. Our opponent's deep in the tank here, thinking what they want to do. Okay. What do you have for us, opponent? Federer Russia. Any chance that's Roger Federer? I doubt it. Cool if it was though. Okay, so opponent's getting a ton of mana. Is this going to be what we saw last game where they just cycle a bunch of stuff? Okay, Cabal Ritual gets an extra 5 mana. And do they just play like... Okay. Cycles a Draneth Healer. So that's what, the white version that just... Okay, so it's similar to the Stinger, it just gains life instead. Okay, Cabal Ritual again. Okay. So they can just keep cycling cards, but I don't know what benefit that is to them. I haven't seen a real payoff yet. I don't know why they're running all these cycling cards. I'm trying to think what they could have that would be a worthwhile payoff for what they're doing, what they've built around. So opponent has 9 mana on turn 4, plus they can tap this mountain for another mana. Songs of the Damned, cool. 13. Okay, so this is like similar to One Land Spy, maybe. Okay, Songs of the Damned again. So it, okay, so some sort of like dome me for 20 kind of thing. Reaping the Graves, sure. And then they just cast a bunch of creatures, I guess. Cool. So they're gonna get back Carrot. Okay, this is cool. They get back all their street wraiths. And then just cast all their stuff, I guess. Interesting. So I guess this is their deck going off. So I assume they're going to start playing some of these street race and other things just as blockers more than anything else. I mean, we can Journey to Nowhere at least one of them. Probably their Stinger, as I think that's kind of their engine to win the game. If we can get our hands on that with our Journey to Nowhere, that would be ideal. And then we've got obviously Stave Off, so we can punch our Trailblazer through a bunch of creatures for damage if they don't cast too many creatures of different colors. Our opponent's deck is really sweet, but it must be a pain in the backside to try and actually pile it. It's got a lot of similarities by the looks of it to like the One Land Spy deck. Okay, so cycles a Street Wraith. Cool. So they are now at a point where if they don't play any creatures and we can get a double cleave next turn, we are just in the money. Okay, Vontasaur. So they're just cycling creatures again here. Looking for some kind of payoff. I'd assume like Reaping of the Grave play a bunch of creatures was their payoff, but I guess not. Okay, another Cabal Ritual. There goes Stinger. There's another Stinger. Deadshot Minotaur. Good against Delver, I guess. And against all the bone pickers that'll be running around now. I should say, incidentally, this is being recorded the 6th of August, so all of the downshifted cards are legal for this playthrough. So all the cast downs, all the bone pickers will be legal, so we might very well see them as we run through the league. I probably should have said that in the intro, to be fair. Are they just trying to storm out here? They have 20 mana, plus 2 red. Songs of the Damned, okay. They have 29 mana. Do they have like a fireball effect here? Reaping the Graves. Sure. Now I know I could F6 here, and I know people are probably screaming at me to F6. I am deliberately playing the permission game just to tax our opponent's clock a little bit more. I tend to find any of these really weird, finicky, combo-y decks you can win on time against if you don't just auto-yield to everything. If you force them to play it out, you can really tax them for mana. I presume here we're just going to get like Rolling Thunders or something. Drannith Stinger, okay. And this is the point at which we just get, they just cycle a bunch of stuff and kill us. I presume that is what they're trying to do. Drannith Stinger, okay, fair. So now they only have to cycle 10 things and we die. Wow, okay, cool. This is turn 4 as well, this is cool. Okay, I'm gonna tell our opponent they have a sweet deck. I mean, I would never want to pilot this deck in a million years. Just because it looks so monotonous to try and actually play through. I do think we made the right call in sideboarding in a double cleave. I think this is a deck against which you are just going to want to get your opponent dead as quickly as possible. Just like before turn 4, turn 5 when they can start comboing. Okay. I presume it's just a case now of whether our opponent has enough cycling. Which you have to imagine they would do. But we don't know how precise our opponent's combo actually is. You'd have to imagine a bunch of stuff in their deck cycles for this to work. Okay, Street Wraith. So our opponent is actually pretty low on life here, in fairness. Okay, so they have to find 2 more things that cycle and we're dead on turn 4. There's 1. Okay, so I'm assuming our opponent's going to have the next one. Reaping, okay, so they're going to reap. Okay, cool. Well, that was painfully slow, but very effective. What can we actually do about that, in fairness? Okay, Drannith Stingers. 1/1s, weren't there? But then they're going to be able to keep cycling things in response to gut shots, so I don't think that's necessarily the way we want to go. I think the way we win is just to run well, basically. As silly as that sounds, I think if we run fast and effectively, we will just kill them. Okay, this is good. If we can get 1 land over the first couple of turns, we should be okay. I really wish this Emergence Cave was a Plains, to be perfectly honest, but this should be enough. If we can get a land, turn 2 or turn 3, start suiting up our Trailblazer, this should be quick enough. Okay, Trailblazer go. what our opponent has for us. Okay, mountain. This is what, Faithless Loom, presumably? No, cycles a Minotaur. Cool. Hey, we got a plains, that's perfect. Okay, so let's go Ethereal Armor. Always yield to that. Bring out Sentinel's Eyes. Bring us down to 15. And I mean, if we draw another land here, I think we just win. Okay, so play a land. Go to attacks. How does the math work on this? So 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we just win here. Wow, okay. That is about as explosive as I've ever seen this deck run. But we will take it. This is why you put double cleave in your deck, guys. Because you just win on turn 3. And got there? Got there! Hey, there we go, guys. Double cleave. I told you that's the way we sideboard. Woo! Well, our opponent had a really, really cool deck. I've got to say, it was weird and I had no idea what they were trying to do early on, but Manly had a cool deck, but we were able to get there. And wow, I've never seen this deck turn in a turn 3 kill before, so super impressed by that. Hey, we're 1-0 guys with Mono White Heroic, and we're gonna go on to game 2.